Are expected to seek out the best.
2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west and around Africa. We break the news. Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime
News. A 24-hour news station.
It's a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Lagos. Good morning to you and welcome to Core Digest, where we'll bring you in-depth review and no doubt analysis of stories as they break in Nigeria. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. I hope you woke up on the right side of the bed. In case you didn't, let's make it right for you. And I wonder how these stories will make it right for you. But of course, yesterday, the big news broke. I'm about to show you one of the now supposed greatest declaration that has been made yet by the present administration. Hear exactly how the Honorable Minister put it yesterday.
I have directed the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, and the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, to ensure strict compliance with this new pricing adjustment.
Okay, good news, no doubt. They say it's about close to 10% thereabout cut in pump price from 97 naira to 87 naira. Now, if you recall, this is the second time that Mr. President will be reducing the price. You recall when the story of subsidy removal broke, a litre was supposed to be sold for 141 naira, and then Mr. President had to bring it down to 97, and this is the second time that he's bringing it down yet again. Many have started considering the political implication of all of these. They say when General Muhammadu Buhari was head of state, he didn't touch the price of oil at all during his about 2-year tenure, but Mr. President has reduced it twice now. Now, reduction, many would say, is quite relative. All of these issues will also discuss I beg your pardon, in the course of the show today. But how exactly are the people reacting to this reduction? Yesterday, we asked the question as regards what is really the situation at your side. Many are saying that where they are, the price is still 97 naira. As a matter of fact, we got a tweet yesterday from one of our followers on Twitter, Okay Olani Yadigun, who says that as at this morning, I believe it meant yesterday, when I fueled my car in Akure, it's still 97 naira. But let's go to Abuja now and find out what the pulse of the people are as regards this reduction. It's amazing what the people are saying.
Actually, when I came this morning, I noticed there is several queues. So I came, what's going on? It's just as a result of the drop in fuel, 87 naira. Positive, people are very happy with the queue. Maybe they are actually scared, maybe they can still rise it again. That's why all of them are just coming, buying full tank.
Alhamdulillah, mun ji daɗi, sauki ya fara samuwa a cikin 2015.
We thank God. There is a sign of relief in 2015. We also hope the price will go back to 65 naira per litre.
65 kama farahin yadda.
Change is not enough. The federal government have to do more. If government can just give a reasonable price for 65 naira, that's better.
Nigerians are Oliver Twist. They want more. 85 naira isn't good enough. That's what Abuja residents are saying. But the good thing for the Abuja resident is that they were able to comply. Filling stations, they were able to comply within the short period of time. You recall that the Honorable Minister talked about 12 a.m., I believe, yesterday. And residents there, no doubt, got it at 87 naira. Unlike Abuja, we were also in Imo State, where it appears all the petrol stations there are yet to key into the new fuel pump price of 87 naira as authorized by the federal government. Let's feel the pulse of the Imolites, or so they are called in that part of the world.
That, people are full of covetousness. Like I've asked this manager here, and he's telling me they have old price. They just want to still finish their old product before they will effect the new one. And like I told him now, say if it were a matter of increment, immediately they would have affected it. So, but however, I don't have anything to say. I only want to commend the government for thinking it wise to help the people by reducing the fuel price. That is all I have to say.
Fuel this morning 105 naira per liter, but this morning I had it on news, but the people who are buying fuel on their hand, they have never reduced it to the normal price. I had it this morning. They are still selling 105 naira per liter, sir. Them? I make up to that them, like the one I buy now, bike at Olu Road. So I asked the sales boy there, why are you people are selling 105 naira? The boy told me that their manager have never ordered them to sell at the rate of 85 naira per liter. Alright. When we buy 105 naira, we add to make sure that we get, as we are now and running along Olu Road, now like where I'm going to drop people at Morubi now, and collecting 17 naira, 18 naira, which is not supposed to be so. But when I buy a liter of oil at a rate of 85 naira, I can reduce it to 15 naira a drop.
If fuel price under the good luck of Nigeria, good luck of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, good luck whom God has given Nigeria, I decided to sell this fuel to Nigerians at the rate of 87, and people are still selling 97 or 105 is total spirit.
It looks as if the Igbo people must have gotten the message wrong. Probably they thought what Minister was talking about was an increment in the price, because you heard one of the talk heads there talking about buying fuel for 105 naira. Are you kidding me? Well, I'm joined now by a long-time friend of the house. He is a legal practitioner as well as a public affairs analyst, barrister BOSUN OSHIFOWORA. Good morning and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
You're a friend, but you've not stuck closer than a brother. Why have you forsaken us?
No, I'm back. I'm back.
You're back now. All right. You're welcome back. And thank you for joining us this morning. Did you get full yesterday or today?
Yeah, I got yesterday.
Okay.
I saw the news on Sunday. And when the minister said with immediate effect, I was wondering, because like one of the people there said that when it's increment, it takes effect immediately. But if it's decrease, like we now have now, they will tell you they have old stock, they're about to finish. But I got mine for 97.
In Lagos?
In Sule, yes.
You know, some will say that.
That was yesterday, so maybe tomorrow or next when I refill, let's see how it goes.
Some will say probably that, of course, if they have the stock and they got it at the rate of 97 naira, would it be fair on them to now revert to 87 naira with the same old stock? Does it work like that?
Really, I don't think so.
Okay.
In fact, when the minister said with immediate effect, I was wondering if some of them got fuel on Saturday or even that same Sunday, you don't expect them, except there's been a pre-arrangement to that effect. But the way they came draconian in their usual style, just go back to this. I wonder who was going to bear the loss. So, but let's see how the week goes. It's too early in the day to say, okay, it's real, it's not real. But if by Friday we've not seen anything, then somebody is deceiving someone.
MCRL, let's check out for some graphics we used yesterday that show the display of the disparity and the changes in prices in the oil in the pump price as far back as 1973, there about the decreases and the increases. But before we get into all of that, what is this thing about the Nigerian factor? If it was increased, immediately, you know, definitely people were out there selling. But the moment they heard about decrease, it looks as if the compliance was quite sluggish.
It's a capitalist regime. Everybody wants to maximize. Even those who got fuel yesterday, after the thing had been brought down by 10 naira, but they still go ahead to sell for 97. And everybody wants to maximize profit until maybe the regulators come and they hold them to it that, come on, we're going to shut down the specs except you do this. So that's what, but we're all capitalists on the inside. So I didn't expect anything different.
Okay, let's check out this display very quickly of what the full pump price has been over time. Do we have it? Okay, 1973 would go on. It increased from 6 kobo to 8.45 kobo, and of course Muritala had it took it to 9 kobo from that particular price. And then Obasanjo from 1978 in 1978 rather increased it from 9 kobo to 15 naira 3 kobo. It seems to be the first person to change it from kobo to naira in real time. And then in let's see now, 1982, 15.3 kobo to 20 kobo, and then 1986 we had 20 kobo to 39.5 kobo. Okay, it goes on and on like that under the Babangida regime, 1986 to 1991, I believe, where it hit the 70 kobo mark. 1993 from 70 kobo to 5 naira, and then I think the first time we're going to see some reduction will be in 1993 under the Abacha regime from 5 naira to 3.25 kobo. Okay, but Abacha obviously just brought the reduction for a while. It didn't last because the same year in 1994, it jumped up from 3 naira 25 kobo to 15 naira. There was another reduction in 1994 from 15 naira to 11 naira. Okay, look at 1998 there. Jumped to 25 naira under the Abubakar regime, back to 20 naira in 1999. In the year 2000, it went from 20 to 30 naira. It goes on and on like that. But let's move away from there quickly and see what Obasanjo did with the oil price. In 2000 to 2007, the bottom line is it hit the 75 naira mark. And then Yaradua, they say, is the only president that did not increase the price of fuel, and that moved from 75 naira to 65 naira. Okay, Mr. President, also in 2012, look at that, 65 naira to 141 naira. Okay, it increased, but then it reduced in 2012, I believe, after the subsidy remover rally, where Nigerians came together to protest the sudden increment. Of course, it sobered up and brought it down to 97 naira. And this time around, Barrister, he has done it again from 97 naira to 87 naira. Some are beginning to read the political calculations to all of this, that sometimes in 1973 thereabout, when General Muhammadu Buhari was there, it did not even touch the price of fuel at all. But now we have a president who has reduced it 2 times. Does it work like that?
Let me just quickly tell you something. Yesterday I spoke with my brother. He's in the US Navy, and we were talking about this fuel thing. He said there they use per gallon.
Okay.
It's about fuel is about $3 and above, and he said it's come down to like $1.60, even in some places $1.30. All right, now that's not where I'm going. I was going to the net yesterday and I saw that they said now people park in filling stations in the United States, in different states, and they fill up their tanks, which was not the way it used to be. It was a survey.
Okay.
Now they now said that apart from that, people are now buying things. Like, you know, they use the excess money to buy different things because there's a significant reduction in what they have over there. Now, here, 10 naira. If I used to buy, say, 3,000 or 5,000, now I have a difference of about, say, I don't know the maths. I'm not very good, but like,
I believe.
Like 500 or 400. I mean, that's quite inconsequential. So it's not that big. Now, for the political calculation, maybe not, because I mean, oil price started plummeting like in the past 3 months. Nothing was done until everybody, in fact, the opposition took it upon themselves, started shouting, started crying. At the end of the day, they came up and said, then they came up 3, 4, 5 months after to now bring it down by just 10%. I don't think, well, a few days to election, maybe that's their calculation, but I don't think people have really received it well. Fine, now let's give them the credit. they brought it down, at least after hue and cry. Now, but was it brought down significantly? No. How much has he empowered the average person? Then if you look at other climes, in the UK, there's a significant reduction. In the US, even in the Arab world, I was in Dubai, even though I didn't really understand their calculations, but some guy was trying to break it down for me that since the thing came down for like 3 months, it's been down drastically. But here, our people are telling us landing costs here, this, that, and everything. We haven't seen, if I spend 5,000 to fill my tank, and you have only taken 400 out of it, come on. What's 400 going to do in my life?
It's all right. It might buy you some kind of recharge card or snack.
Oh, well.
But let's look at the reaction of the opposition and the labor unions to this. Let's start with the APC's position. Of course, the opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, has described the slash in fuel price as a panicky political measure that falls short of people's expectation. As a matter of fact, the APC is relating this to Mr. President's visit to Maiduguri, and they're also saying that there is no justification at all for an 11% cut in fuel price at a time oil prices are down by 55%. And I believe that's exactly what you're talking about. The NLC also touched on the fact that the actual reduction is that the price slash translates to only 10.3% compared to the 33% in most countries. Now, what would you also follow suit with this path? But why is it that when it comes to oil and price of oil in Nigeria, that is where we get all the calculations and the challenges from, the controversies stem forth? We're supposed to be one of the largest oil
producing nations. I think you should look at it from this point. If we have, God has blessed us, and we have this thing in quantum, why are we suffering? Countries that don't have oil, they don't even have any resources, they're better off. You look at their earnings and how much they're spending on fuel, it's okay for them. But here, how come we don't have refineries? How come we're still importing fuel at this level? 6 years of this administration, you're telling me one refinery can't be built? I'm not even looking at 6 years of this administration. It's 8 years as far as I'm concerned. Okay? No refinery has been built. We are still at the same level. Then you come and tell us landing costs. I mean, okay, what if the countries where we buy these things didn't take it upon themselves to have refineries? So what are we going to buy? We'll put crude oil in our cars? It doesn't show seriousness as far as I'm concerned. We're the biggest, we're the most populous country in Africa. Everything will have it in abundance. Why the government has not been able to come up with one refinery, I can't fathom it.
I know you can't fathom it, but can you try to scratch the root cause of all of this? Because this is where it all boils down to. People come and say, how come we don't refine our own oil? This is not just a challenge for this administration. It seems to have been there for the 16 years of our democratic rule, even prior to that time under military administration. What makes this challenge so rife? What is that decimal challenge?
The problem here is leadership, visionary leadership. A leader should be able to set the vision for where his people are going. Now, we have oil. It's like you have yam, and you go to your neighbor. Please help me cook this yam. Then they help you cook. Please help you take it to another neighbor. Please help me pound this yam. Then you now buy it from them like 3 times the amount. But get a pounding machine or get mortar and pestle and pound your thing yourself. You have the capacity to get the mortar. You have the capacity to get the pounding machine. You are not crippled. You can pound by yourself. So why are you giving it to your neighbor and collecting the same thing for a higher price?
But Barrister, if it's that simple, how come we've had PhDs as president, we've had highly celebrated Nigerians, and they don't get it that quite simple?
Visionary leadership has nothing to do with academic qualification.
But what I'm saying is that it's not beyond academic qualification. Now, we've had successive leadership. Are you pointing to the fact that probably we've just, all of them have not been able to do the right thing?
We used to have refineries in this country. When moribund, some people destroyed it, and nothing has been done. Primarily, well, the shout has been about corruption. it took corrupt people to destroy this thing so that they can perpetrate themselves in business. But I think something should have been done. If the government is serious and sincere, I think we should by now, in 6 years, I'm not looking at the past. I'm looking at this present one. They're not even talking about building refineries. They're not talking about, I mean, let's even look at building, apart from bringing the cost of fuel down, if we have our own refineries. Do you know how many people will work in a refinery? Do you know the effect on the economy? Do you know the effect on employment? Okay. And we're not talking in that direction. Now, so I feel that I'm just looking at this administration, 6 years, nothing has been done refinery-wise. Repair the ones that are bad or set up new ones. You don't need PhD, you don't need, it's not rocket science now. My brother, this chair was bad. Call a carpenter or call somebody who does it. Repair it, there's nothing. Or buy another one. Are you telling me you don't have money to buy another one? But we have money to pay people, the bloated administration. I know.
Let me quickly open the phone lines. Let's find out how much the pump price of fuel is in your locality and where you are, how much you got it yesterday and probably this morning. Of course, there's an alternative line for you to call, so don't think you can just dial the one you've saved. We're having challenges with that particular line. There's a new phone line on your screen. Let's have your opinion as regards all of this. Another very important issue that the NLC is bringing up at this time is that they are asking for the role of the PPPRA in all of this. Why should it be Mr. President directing a reduction? Why not the price regulatory body? What are your thoughts along that line?
See, you see all this name calling, bug passing. The average person on the street just wants to live well. Whoever reduced the price doesn't really concern much. Fine, PPPRA is responsible for price fixing. But imagine if they brought it down to like 40 naira. Who cares whether it's PPPRA or the president or the minister who did it? The fact is that people want to live well.
Just a minute. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Welcome to Call Digest.
I'm calling from Jos, yeah.
From Jos. What's your name, please?
Jos.
What's your name? My Jos caller.
John.
Oh, your name is John from Jos.
No, not John. I think George or Wale.
John.
Okay, let's use Wale.
Yeah, I know that one.
George or Wale from Jos. How's Jos this morning?
I'm very good, cheap.
So how much does a liter of petrol sells in Jos?
It's 97.
It's still 97?
It's 97 all over.
You guys didn't hear the news or what?
Yeah, we heard the news. I asked them yesterday, I said, they say the president said the day should go back to 87. They said, no, they have the whole talk. And I asked him, I said, when the other side, if they increase, you people will just immediately before we move. But now, you are saying you are still telling the whole talk. They say they are telling the whole talk at the top. I said, when are you going to finish the whole talk? They say they don't know the time they will finish the whole talk. I said, if they have to finish it. Okay? That's what we say. And as soon as that make we sell that. If you want buy. If you don't want buy, no come out. Maybe tomorrow now the thing jump to 150. It's better buy the next one now. That's what the guy tell you. That's why I want to come out.
It's all right, Judge. Thank you very much for your contribution. Well, we're hopeful that it will get better. But beyond all of this now, we're looking also at the disparities but how come in most parts of the world, because we've seen it happen in South Africa, in Tunisia, all across the world, the price of the fuel has reduced, and in most places it's 33%, and then here in Nigeria we just have 10.3%.
I think you should use the word reduced drastically. Well, Nigeria is a peculiar case, so we have been made to believe. It's sad, it's laudable. If they don't reduce it, what can you do? Nothing. All right, now, but it's not like playing Oliver Twist, like you said earlier on. If you want to do something, do it well. Do it in such a way that people will commend you. That, okay, fine, we have done something. See, the world has been reduced to such a level that everybody, with a click of a button, you know what's happening in practically every part of the world.
That's right.
People have grown. Now, the people you're governing, they have grown to a level where they feel they want to take responsibility. They want to know what their leaders are doing, and they can do this thing by a click of a button. Now, so you don't come and dazzle us with something small.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Welcome to Call Digest.
Okay, sir. I'm Garba calling from Mina.
Garba from Mina. How's Mina this morning?
Oh, we thank God.
How much did they sell fuel for that side, though?
To the fuel price, the one purchased was 100 naira per liter.
100 naira? Did you say 100 naira?
Yes, 100 naira per liter.
Why now?
And when we tried to complain, they were saying that we should go to Abuja or meet the federal government ourselves.
But how much was it selling before the announcement?
And before the announcement, some police stations were selling 115, some 110. Only few are selling. It's just the mega station that we are selling 80, like 7 naira per liter.
It's all right. It is well with you and your brothers in Mina.
And it's not easy for us because if you complain, they will say you should just go and make the federal at Abuja or complain to them. Then they are doing their business here. They don't know anything about that.
It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution on the show this morning.
You're welcome.
But then there are also another side of the story. I don't know how to explain the fact that some people are still buying fuel over 100 naira in Nigeria. But many are asking the political implication, or perhaps how come this increase is coming just a few weeks to the general election. Do you see any correlation, really?
Yes, yes. It's you can see the political undertone. I mean, it's a credit to the government. You can't take it away from them. Or to the current administration. At least we ran through the list and we saw that maybe during Abacha's time, there was a reduction. Then also during Yaradua. No administration has been credited with reduction except those two. Now, this administration also can say that we reduced it, but they forgot that they took it from 65 to 141, then back to 97. That is no reduction because that was a reduction that came as a result of protests.
Yeah, but many will say that at least it showed that the leadership was listening.
All right, so you can hold on to it like a World Cup, like at least we did something. All right, now, so it's some calculation. All right.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning, Ebenezer.
Good morning.
Welcome to Call Digest. Where are you calling from?
My name is Trevor. I'm calling from Ondo State.
From Ondo State? Imo State. What's your name again?
Yeah.
Favor, okay. I think I missed your name there. All right, Favor, go ahead with your contribution from Imo State.
Thank you. First of all, I want to see the correct celebration. It's not even earlier, but it's like this evening, people from Imo, they're being here, Minister Ware. He said we thought of implement. No, we didn't say so. The truth is that since December to now, so have been sold in between 105 and 100 naira per liter. It's only the independent mega station that is taking like 7 naira. So that is exactly what the person was saying. What about you living here, the minister? Where? That's right here. But I hope you're not talking like they are governor. So what I'm saying here is this. I think the big thing is completely political. Because let's argue this more of economical. What is the basis for this reduction? Why 10 naira? And what is this for? It's like when the food was sold 97 naira when the good was 100 and something. Now the thing has gone down close to $50. And they are removing only 10 naira. What things around it? It's not because Nigerians are going there. That is why they see they can do anything and do their wish. In fact, they do 7 places. Don't say that it's shipping. When I see that you are 7 places. Why is that? Because they do whatever they do, they only have the way.
Favor.
In my own opinion, like I said earlier, it is more of political than economical.
Okay, Favor, you said before the announcement, fuel was sold between 100 and 105. Are you there? Oh, it was in a haste to leave. But there are also people who are asking that what happens to other products like diesel and kerosene? Are they not all products of the same? How come there's a reduction only in petrol and not in others?
Left to me, if I was in a position to advise, we should have left it at 97. They've caused more controversy. They've caused more problems for themselves, reducing this thing. Because people are aware, like I said, people know what is happening in other climes. Something has been reduced. Globally, the reason why they increased it earlier on, when the subsidy protest 2012, they said it was because crude oil prices rose, blah, 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 blah. Now, crude oil prices came down, and we are still at the same level. Now, you now wanted to give us, you know what my people will what they say in Yoruba, take and let me rest kind of thing, like just take and go and die. So you gave me 10 naira. I mean, come on. They should have left it.
But they also say at all that nine bad pass.
No. Sometimes our bread is not good. If you want to fast.
Hello, good morning. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Festus calling from Mina.
Festus from Mina.
Yeah, Festus.
Is it true what Garba said that they sell fuel 110 naira per liter in Mina?
The truth is that you see, some people, it all depends on where they are buying the fuel.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see, we have major marketers in Mina where we have independent marketers.
Okay.
And like the major marketers will always comply to what the federal government has said, where the independent marketers will always want to go back to sell what they are buying, what they have on ground before they buy new ones that they will sell according to the price the government, federal government is regulating. But say, for example, if this thing were to be something of maybe increase of what, would the independent marketers say they will not sell their product because or maybe they will not increase their price because they reduce their increase?
Okay.
So you see, people will just be putting blame on government. We, the citizens of the country, cannot abide by the laws of the government. And people keep complaining that governments are not doing what they're supposed to do. At least this man has tried by reducing his price with 10 naira. The country, all of us know that this country is solely dependent on oil. Oil is the only source of our revenue generation in this country. All the other things we were relying on before, everybody has thrown them aside, focusing on oil, waiting for the federal government to allocate money to the state and everywhere from the oil. If this man decides to bring this money down, the price down to 40 naira, how are we going to survive? You understand?
I understand you.
People don't just feel anything good is coming out of government. To be in a position is not an easy thing. The people doesn't see it to be something that...
Just a minute, Festus. Hello, Festus.
Yes, I'm listening.
You said the price of fuel determines on where you're buying it from. Where do you buy fuel from, and how much do you buy it in Mina?
Yeah, the one I bought it from Total Service Station.
Okay, how much?
Total, I bought it at the rate of 87 naira.
Oh, that was yesterday, right?
Yesterday, yes.
In Mina. Okay.
Yes.
Please mention the address again so that Garba can go and be buying fuel there.
Yeah, tell him to go to Total Service Station. All the old Total Service stations in Mina, they are selling at the rate of 87 naira. Let him go to any of the Total Service stations. I'm sure we'll get the fuel back for 87 naira.
It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution, Festus. Good to hear from you. Diesel, for a while now, I believe they've what is responsible for all of this? Because many are also asking, there are questions of deregulation of the downstream sector at this time. At this time also, we're talking about cutting down government expenses, increasing taxation, what they now term the austerity measures. Do you see all of these gelling together?
At all. Austerity measure in this year's budget. Did you see how much the presidency will use to it? So, the austerity, who does it apply to? We. It doesn't apply to them. Doesn't make sense. I think sometime back on this program, we talked about a major problem. People shout corruption. Corruption may be a problem, but I think the major problem with this administration is they have a bloated government. They have a bloated administration. Take, for example, information dissemination. We have like 4 people. You have a special advisor on information, senior special advisor on information. Sometimes they even clash and also give us conflicting things. Why should 4 or 5 people be disseminating information and we still have a minister in that? So what? Everybody, in fact, this morning I was talking with a friend and I'm like, come, there's EFCC, there's ICPC, what's the function of the police? Empower the people that are supposed to do this thing and cut off, except you want to say because you want to create employment. But there are other areas you can go into, build refineries and see how many people will be employed. Do the basic things and you see how many people will be employed. Don't just come and multiply things for sake of multiplication.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest.
Good morning. My name is Dan, calling from Karu, Abuja.
What's your name again? Dan. Did you say Dan?
Yes, Dan.
Okay, turn down the volume of your TV, sir, Dan.
Okay.
All right, please go ahead. Go ahead with the contribution.
The situation is that people blame but sometimes I think it is the policies that they put in place that are limited. Because when
There's something terribly wrong with your line. You might have to call us back, Dan, and move to a place to get a better reception.
There's a point I wanted to make earlier. If you know that you want to reduce this thing by 10 naira and people have bought stocks, I think government should have waited or liaised with the necessary parties. Or like some people have said, why didn't you leave it to the PPRA to work this thing out? Now, you know your people. You know how it works. I can't buy something now for 100 naira. You come up with a government policy tomorrow and tell me, sell it for 50 naira. So who bears the loss? Who pays? Nothing. I don't know what government has done in that direction. So you don't just come and make something in the air with immediate effect by the powers conferred on me, section 6, subsection, this thing must be from 12 a.m. Okay? Now, so I wake up tomorrow, then I follow section 6. So where is, who bears the loss? What happens to how much I used to purchase this thing? I have overheads. I have things to do. Hello. I have people to pay.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest.
Good morning. I'm calling. My name is Musa. I'm calling from Mina.
Musa?
Yes.
From Mina, okay. How are you today, Musa?
Fine, thank you.
Let's hear your own side of the story from Mina.
Yes. You see, I want to correct one error by Festus, who said he bought fuel at
87 naira.
And that is not true. I certainly believe some places you can get it at 97. And independent marketers are selling at 105, 130, and upwards.
But Festus mentioned the name of the filling station. Were you listening that time?
No, that's what I say. He said Total.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he did.
What I'm saying is, we have so many Total. So I want to know particularly which of the Total is he referring to.
How much have you been buying fuel, Musa?
97.
97.
Yes, it was multinational station.
Okay.
But independent marketers still sell at 110, even 120.
It's all right.
So, you see, just like what the other contributor was saying, you know, government don't just change prices with fair. You know, they have to create an avenue where such regime, shifting from one price regime to the other, will be done in an orderly manner. That will even make sense. But the way they did it, there is no sincerity of purpose in it. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Musa, for your contribution from Mina. Well, sincerity of purpose or not, the question on the lips of many Nigerians have been, how do I partake of the national cake? the 21 billion naira that was given to the PDP, how does a share get to me? At campaign rallies now, they distribute some papers. I mean, this is, for crying out loud, this is like 10% down cut. Isn't it good after all for all Nigerians? Should it be something we can smile about and celebrate leadership
This
about?
This coming from what Musa said, and like I said earlier, it's either there's no sincerity or purpose, or they don't have good sense of organization. You know how these things work. You should have put in place things that will make it work better. Now, at the end of the day, you are making something good bad. A good policy turning out bad. Nobody is benefiting. Now, the average person, if I go and they still sell for me for 97, it's either I'll come with the conclusion that, okay, these people, the independent marketers are bad people, or that the government has lied to me. If this thing continues by this time next week, then we know that the whole thing is a farce.
I see. Let's quickly take another call and find out details from across Nigeria. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Call Digest. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed Mike. I'm calling from Mina.
Mohammed from Mina. This is serious. Mina people have taken over the show. All right, let's hear your side of the story.
Yes, the question I have, Musa has already asked me the first one.
Okay.
So, which of the total? This morning, I have received another total, and I bought it at the rate of 97.
Okay.
So, which of the total is in the effect of buying fuel?
It's all right.
That is my question.
It's all right. I believe Festus will call back or send us a message to give us detailed address of where he got his own fuel from. But let's quickly find out other things that the federal government is saying about this. The ex-depot price, MCR, if you can quickly find it. It says the federal government, through the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, the PPPRA, has announced a reduction in the ex-depot price of fuel from 81 naira 51 kobo to 77 naira 56 kobo per liter. Now, ex-depot price is the actual cost of petrol when it hits the shores of Nigeria from where it was purchased, according to the PPPRA. Now, by the announcement, the ex-depot price was reduced by 3 naira 85 kobo per liter, and the agency is saying that the reduction, of course, became necessary because of the federal government's announcement of a reduction in the pump price of fuel from 97 naira to 87 naira per liter. Let's take a couple of messages here. This one says, the so-called 11% decrease, let me see this, of petrol price as announced by the minister is one of the gimmicks of PDP-led administration, how to take Nigerians for a ride, as it is not intended to favor us but to favor them in achieving cheap political support. And just like many of their policies, this one too will backfire. That's Abdul from Mina. Looks as if everybody in Mina is watching the show this morning. But let's begin to look at the political value of this actually for the PDP. This is what Nigerians have been clamoring for a while. Many are saying it should even be in 65 naira. Don't you think Nigerians this time will be thinking that if the president can put it down to 87, maybe if we give him another chance, gradually it might eventually get to 65 naira. Do you see this bringing some political value really for the PDP?
I don't think.
How do you mean?
I don't think so. Because go out there and feel the pulse of the people. Now you brought petrol down by 10 naira. This station runs on diesel.
That's right.
Okay?
Almost 2 for 7.
Every home runs on diesel. So what are you telling me? You just said earlier on, and people have been saying, is it not the same crude oil that they get all these things from? So what happened to other ones? So if you, I think it's, I don't know the people who are behind this, but I don't think they really planned it well.
This one also says that, just a minute, Barrister, the government has reduced the price of petrol from 97 to 87 naira per litre, but all the filling stations are not complying. It now says that the deduction is nothing, but it's 60 or 65 naira. It's saying that 60 or 65 naira is okay. Is that realistic? Are Nigerians quite realistic at this time? Because in our earlier clips too, you saw people who are saying, is 65 naira or nothing?
I told you earlier, I would rather they left you at 97. and go ahead. If this is a political stunt, I don't think it will work fine. Nigerians are no fools. You know what is going on. And like I said earlier, we know what's going on in other places. So, what are you telling me? If in the US, the UK, people who don't have oil, who don't have anything, they brought this thing down by 50%. And we that produce oil, you know, all this, maybe for the elite or the very educated, you can explain, dazzle them with figures and statistics. The average man on the street has sense, at least a little bit of sense. And he feels that, okay, maybe they said in America, this thing is this. In London, this thing is this. Why is Nigeria? They know the simple maths. And they know how much is in their pocket. Now then, with this naira that has been so devalued, purchasing power has gone down. Now you're telling me it's not. So they have a sense of how this thing should go.
Good morning. Are you there? If you're there, turn down the volume of your TV set. Hello, good morning. Turn down the volume of your TV set. Can you do that? Well, I'm afraid we lost that. Prior to this reduction rally, I believe even late last year, the opposition party, labor unions have been clamoring that why do we still buy petrol at 97 naira per litre with the global fall in oil price? And now it's happening. But then the reaction seems to be different from the call of the people. Would you call that the characteristic of the average Nigerian?
No. The average Nigerian, maybe the Nigeria of 10 years ago, is different from now. I just explained. It's a very simple logic. People are wiser, and people now know what they want. That's why I said they should have left it at left to me. Leave it at 97. Now, let me shock you. If this, they said by April, May, this thing will pick up. All right. Now, if it picks up, and this same administration is still in government, how are you going to work it out? Then they'll come back again and increase it. Then another rally, another subsidy. So it's better they should have left it.
But then, wouldn't you even say that there is a little bit of contradiction here? This is the same administration that was making a clarion call for a full removal of subsidy. If that flies now, of course, we are looking at the possibility of the price going back up.
No, they said landing costs. They did the calculation and said everything came to like 97. Then take away the subsidy. Leave it the way it is. Let the people know. You know what? Shepi was the ones here. Look at this thing, the way it works. We've endured this thing from 20, we saw the statistics, 11 naira, 20 naira, 22, 35, you know, like that. Let people know what they're doing. Take away whatever it is. Now, you said subsidy. We all witnessed the subsidy scam. We all saw the people they brought that, okay, these are the scammers. Now, and we all saw what happened to them. The same scammers are now on the streets. The same scammers are now contesting for election under the same platform. So who is deceiving who? Now, so don't come and tell me some subsidy, bamboozle me with some statistics and everything. If the landing costs and everything, if it's 120, then I know I'm paying 120 and I'm fine. Nobody's cheating me anywhere. So if the price goes up, then I know, okay, fine. Then landing cost goes to 125. Now, if the price comes down to $50 per barrel, then I know it should come down to 59. Simple logic.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest.
Good morning. My name is Olushola. I'm calling from Osun State.
Olushola calling from Osun State. Abiodun.
Yes, I purchased for yesterday at Ibadan total filling station.
Okay.
At the rate of 87 naira. Actually, the price on the 12 machine, the machine they're using has not changed. But they use calculators to calculate it at the rate of 87 naira.
Okay.
Okay. So I think they changed.
Okay, in Ibadan, right?
Yeah, Ibadan, yes, total.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right, let's begin to wrap this up, especially this oil of a thing, and look at how it impacts directly on the much talked about February general elections. Many are saying, well, it's a game changer. Many, like you, also made mention of the front page message of the Ekiti State Governor yesterday, that probably that had cast a shadow on the relevance of the reduction. But if we're going to be realistic here, wouldn't you say that might really change some things ahead the 2015 election? That probably the Jonathan administration got it right this time. If they took 10 naira away from it, it's a matter of time. It's trust that they are building in Nigerians that probably it's going to get lower and lower by today.
An administration that before my face brought it to 141. Then after shouting and loss of lives and noise making, then they were forced to bring it down to about 100. Then now they brought it, they took 10 naira away from it because the thing has fallen so much, and it took shout and shout and shout again. Okay. What do I know that they will do 3 months down the line? That's my own fear. Because now if this thing, okay, let's assume the oil price now goes up by say $10. Will they increase it again? So I don't understand their maths, except they come out and say, this is what has happened, this is how we came to this, then in case this happens also, this is how we will do it, then I'm fine. But if not, I don't trust it. I don't see any game-changing thing in this whole stuff. I don't see anything at all. For me, it's not changing any game.
Let's take this call and find out more from our viewers this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you. Welcome to Call Digest.
Thank you. My name is Abdulaziz. I'm calling from Ilori.
Okay, Abdulaziz, go ahead with your contribution from Ilori.
Yeah, thank you. My greetings goes to the man on the studio this morning.
Barrister OSHIFOWORA.
You're doing a very good work.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
You see, the little analysis is that 10 naira of fuel price at this moment is nothing but a political bombardment. A lot of us know that Mr. President and the PDP are now jittery of the opposition. Thank God this time around, Nigerians are working toward a change. You see, it's only in this dispensation that you have a formidable opposition that could send a clear signal to the presidency that change is possible. Let us not forget that all these advertisements and all these political insults on the opposition are just the beginning of the fears of changes. And thank God. Today, I heard somebody analyzing on this issue of petroleum drop. The price of fuel in Nigeria should not be less than 40 naira with the fall in fuel from world over. I want Nigerians to go and Google on the prices of fuel on other countries. You see that Nigerians, even when we are producing fuel, we are still messing up. We are messing it up. In all African countries, Nigeria sells the highest fuel top price, even when we have these natural resources. So where are we going? The fears of prison, I want to tell the people of Nigeria, these fears of prison is the beginning of change, and change must come in. Thank you. Good morning.
All right, Abdulaziz, I can tell which side you were. I'll be your own. Transformation or change?
you know a quick one on this austerity thing, if I can just chip that in.
Okay.
Somebody, I was with a friend about 2 weeks ago, and we were making an analysis that in medieval times, like when, you know, the whole story of Joseph, the 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And during the 7 years of plenty, they saved. And when famine came, everybody saw it. No Egyptian went hungry. Now, we've had $110 of crude oil sale for years. Nothing happened. Now that is something, everything has implemented, you are now telling me I should come and face austerity or prosperity that I didn't partake of
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, welcome to Call Digest.
I'm calling from Kaduna.
What's your name, please?
My name is John from Kaduna.
John. You almost forgot your name. All right, go ahead with the contribution, John.
Please, with what the man criticized is saying, we really appreciate it.
Okay.
But what government is due to us, in fact, they don't have the masses in mind. Number one, all the refinery in Nigeria has not been working for more than 6 months. And today they are not telling us that they reduced the price of PMS with 10 naira. What is 10 naira? The products, they should tell us the landing cost of this product from outside the country. We want to know the analysis, number one. Number two, the reason why all our refineries are not working in Nigeria, that so it's only import of products that will be relied upon. If our refineries are working, PMS is not supposed to be more than 35 to 40 naira. Then our Minister of Petroleum and Jonathan, they decided to sell all our crude outside in the name of they want to come back for second time. We are here for change. Jonathan should not give us that he reduced 10 naira. 10 naira does, he cannot get our vote with 10 naira.
Okay. I believe you made your point there. There's an amazing message here. If X is directly proportional to Y, such that Y varies directly as X and Y equals 97, is mathematics. And then he now says, and when X equals 120, find the value of Y when X is 45 now. Maybe we'll get to sit down and
that's a whole lot of math. So unfortunately, I'm a lawyer. So, but I know that, you see, you don't need all this X, the Y, and all these things. We know what is happening. This is a normal thing. It's not rocket science. If all of us are buying something at a particular price, and now the thing has gone down, and the thing has reflected in everybody's home, why is my own home different? Is there who is coming to calculate my own maths for me when all of us were doing it at the same time? It's very simple. We don't need Peter Obi or any mathematician to come out.
We're going to take a short break now, and we'll be back with top stories making headline on some of Nigerian dailies in case you're yet to see them. Stick around. Don't go away.
This morning, Nigerians encourage corruption, cites University of the Punch newspaper. And Nigerian Governor Forum calls for Okonjo Iweala's resignation. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
The dailies every day on Core TV News.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us on Core Digest Tuesday. Let's quickly find out what the top stories are. I still have with me Barrister BOSUN, OSHIFOWORA. Thank you very much for staying the course on the show today. All right, we'll start with the Vanguard newspaper. Presidency, IBB backs Buhari. The writers here says generals will support his candidacy, debunks claims of feud between them. I don't have PVC, Sultan cries out. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard. Quite a sad one. You see that green corner somewhere at the left of the Vanguard. Nollywood months actor Muna. You get details of that on page 55. Graft, governors, top politicians under EFCC, UK Police Watch, says Lamode. That's on page 9. And then the front page picture tells it all. New petrol price. Of course, it's 87 naira in 3 places, except for one with 97 naira. We got calls earlier from Mina. Amazingly, they are saying that they still buy fuel at 105 and 100 naira. You also saw it earlier somewhere in Imo State following suit. Petrol price, first stations in Abuja, of course, display the new pump price of petrol, and another in Lagos still selling at the old price. Full price cut, relief, but find details on page 54. I'm a friend of the North, says Jonathan. That's on page 14. The Mr. and Mrs. there for you. And the Mrs. says, you can't find a red folder you put on the table. Are you sure you put it there? And then the man says, that's what I like about bachelorhood. You'd always find things in the place where you put them. If you use the loo and refuse to clean up, it's your business. All right. On the back page of the Vanguard for some sports stars, we don't deserve to be at AFCON 2015, says Mike. Senegal shock Ghana. Of course, Senegal 2 there, Ghana 1. I'm not even interested in the African Cup of Nations. Nigeria is not there, you know. I've not been watching it recently. But look at what the Sultan says here. I don't have PVC. Have you gotten your permanent voter card?
I have.
Oh, what was the experience like?
Lucky for me, it was just by my house. So when they came, I made sure that, you know, Nigerians were not used to, we wait till the deadline before we actually go out. So the day I saw them, I just went there that place. So I had the temporary one, so I gave it to them, and immediately they gave it to me on 1 minute. I was out of the place. And I called as many people as I could that go get this thing early enough before.
While you can.
Yes.
So for you, it was quite easy.
Very easy, because it was in front of my house.
I think the other part of the story that we've not been telling and that has not been fair on the part of INEC is just the lackadaisical attitude of Nigerians. They always want to wait till the brink of time to make things happen. Do you believe also that that has contributed to the irregularity, so to speak, we've experienced thus far?
No, I think this time around, the logistics, I don't think INEC got it well. Seriously. You don't distribute this thing under 1 month and expect everybody to have it, or while they're doing that, you're registering as well for those who didn't have the temporary one. I feel that this thing should have gone on for like 6 months.
Let's check
I don't know how ready we are for election.
Well, the House of Reps also talked about the possibility of using the temporary voter cards, and INEC is saying no way. Do you think that at this time both should be synchronized and then possibly used during the elections?
If you have about 50% of people with the permanent, and you have the other 50% that they don't have the permanent voters card, I think logic supports that you should. It's not like I will be able to vote twice. I don't know what ill the temporary voters card will cost.
Okay.
So I didn't understand the logic when INEC was saying it, but I feel that ideally they should allow people with the temporary one, so it saves us the whole problem.
The challenge is that totally probably will nullify the integrity of the card reading machine, the integrity of the chip, and the computerized path that we are taking in ensuring that our votes count.
It's just a case of starting what you cannot finish. Why did they go that route when they knew that they will have all this?
Wouldn't they be pessimistic thinking that INEC will not be able to give out these PVCs? February 14 is still some weeks away.
I don't think we're ready for it. I don't think we're ready for it.
We'll find out in time. Let's check the Punch newspaper.
I don't think INEC is ready. Let me not say the people. The people are ready.
Of course, you are ready.
But I'm ready.
You have your PVC already.
Yes.
UK EFCC probing governors, ministers for fraud, says Lamont. That's on page 3. Name 750 million naira bribe takers. PDP DS EFCC. The front page picture here, school children from Langatap Road Primary School scramble up on a bridge in Nairobi, Kenya, after being tear-gassed by policemen during the demonstration against the removal of their school's playground, which was allegedly grabbed by a politician. Okay, so it happens everywhere, especially in Africa. I don't have PVC, Sultan tells Jonathan that's on page 12. Banks to pay for card frauds abroad, says CBN. That's on page 36. And Jonathan stopped Boko Haram from taking over Nigeria. That's the position of the PDP. You get details of that on page 18. Petrol price reduction too small. NLC, TUC, APC seem to be on the same side on this. Details on page 2 of the Punch. DPO Chioma Ajunwa seizes newspapers over Punch report. pages 4 and 5. And campaign shouldn't be about dead leaders, says Buhari, page 9. Niger Deputy Governor, 200 others dump PDP for APC. I believe that the general must have been reacting to Mr. Fayoshe's front page message yesterday.
No,
It was on the Punch. What are your thoughts along that line?
That was a poison. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. I think Governor Fayoshe is yet to come to terms with the fact that he is now a governor. You don't say that.
All right, let's move quickly away from there to the Nation newspaper. Jonathan, PDP under fire over Buhari death threat. Now, the writer here says it's reckless, say ACF APCON. There was outrage yesterday over an advertisement placed in some national newspapers in support of President Goodluck Jonathan. The PDP, on whose platform the president is contesting, was under fire over the advertisement placed by Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayoshe. The advertisement titled "Nigerians Be Warned" quoted a Bible passage saying, "I have set before thee life and death." It has photographs of the late heads of state, General Murtala Mohammed, General Sani Abacha, and late President Musa Yar'Adua, all of who died in office, and the photo of General Buhari. Amazingly, Governor Fayoshe also noted that all of them are from the northwestern part of Nigeria. And it says 872 from northwest again. Will you allow history to repeat itself? It goes on and on and on and on like that. But, you know, I think the challenge probably would be with the fact that we've not been able to define what treasonable statements or statements that has the potentials to heat up the polity are. Mr. President keeps talking about issue-based campaign. But then we hear people talk every time, not only with the PDP, with the APC, but no, the judiciary is not doing anything about it. Everybody is just saying whatever he likes. So why do we even complain about it? It looks as if we are operating in a country that doesn't have rule, that doesn't have standards.
Let's look at that thing from maybe 2 or 3 contexts. Morally, it is wrong. Okay? He's a governor. I read some other news later in the day where he came out and said he's standing by what he did. The same PDP that signed last week, the president signed on their behalf a pact that there won't be violence. These are incisive statements that can cause chaos. But luckily, the opposition has managed it well. And then also, what do you want the families of... Murtala was shot. What do you want his family to come and say? Then Yar'Adua died of illness. Anybody could fall ill. Does he know what is going to befall him?
Not necessarily because of his age.
So, I don't know. It was reckless. It was, for want of a better word, I think it's ungentlemanly.
But what I'm trying to say is that if somebody says that and goes away with it, then what stops the other person from taking over from there?
Well, no. I think the opposition has managed it well. They can go to court. Unfortunately,
you guys are on strike.
So maybe when the court comes back. Because if they should do fire for fire, they'll heat up. The atmosphere is tense. And it's a volatile situation. The slightest thing will cause problems.
But then maybe there's a good side of it we're not seeing. The fact that probably the electorate is more matured and then they don't see it as anything necessary enough to, you know, fight about.
You know,
isn't that
when it doesn't rain, it pours. When it rains, it pours. All right. If trouble starts, the same people who are eating up the politics, do they think they find where to run? When the civil war started, nobody won now. Everybody stood and started counting their losses. I don't think people want to go that route. Somehow, Nigerians have grown over time and we realize that war is not the best way, because way back, this kind of thing, I mean, you see reaction from the North. You went all out for them saying, these are not Western people. You don't do that.
How do we ensure that
you rein such kind of person in?
Political stakeholders are cautioned this time. We saw an agreement signed by the presidential candidates. I mean, that did not stop anything. This man is speaking on behalf of someone. I mean, the principal hasn't said anything as of now that I know of. Are we saying that probably the statements from someone like Governor Fayoshe isn't part of the issue-based or eating of polity that we are actually talking about?
I think this talks more about his person. And somehow we know him. All right? the kind of person he is. All right. Sometimes he talks. That's why I said, I think he hasn't come to terms with the fact that he's occupying a position, a sensitive position. All right. And I don't know when he's going to come to terms with that, but you don't make reckless statements like this. Even if he wasn't a governor, how much more being a governor? Then you know you're talking to those people, but somehow I think the opposition has tried in managing it well. Because if they go toe-to-toe with him, then I don't think we will be sitting here and lounging.
It's all right. Let's see what this quote says. This is the height of desperate tactics by the PDP, which is capable of degenerating into unnecessary bloodshed and destruction. They are choosing death for us. This is not politics. That's what the APC is saying. NLC, APC, others knock petrol price cut. And then you have an interesting front page picture here also on the Nation. President Jonathan with Vice President Sabo with Sultan Abubakar. That was yesterday. Stop Boko Haram. Sultan urges Jonathan, and he says, I've not got PVC. Interesting. It continues on page 2 of the Nation, if you care to check. Now, the final point of call would be the Guardian newspaper this morning. Mint groans under failed INEC ballot printed job. 4 billion naira loan. And the writers here doubt secure proof of ballot papers, delivery time, award of contract to foreign firms, and Nigerians' interest size commission. AFCC, Metropolitan Police begin probe of governors, ministers, others. That's on page 4. Some have also questioned the timing of that. Well, NLC, TUC, APC seek further cut in price of petrol. That's on page 5. Government unfolds protectionist policy for local firms. Page 21. It's 281st day of the abduction of over 200 Chibok girls in Borno State. The Guardian is saying, bring back our girls. Jonathan Buhari Mark IBB raised political stake for APC PDP as president expresses confidence in Jega. Now let's turn our attention quickly, Barrister, to our other focus of discussion this morning as we all hope and work actively towards a violence-free election in 2015. Yesterday, the APC organized a campaign rally in somewhere in Kosofe area of Lagos State. And while the rally was going on, while the campaign was going on, there was another scene that I'm going to show to you to see. And then it's what has now been described as a violent scene, and viewers' discretion would be advised at this point.